Do you really want to be taken for a waltz down Yellow Brick Road? Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now this is a general reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whatever area of your chart you're wanting to look at. And if you're not familiar with your chart, there is a link down below so you can go and get yourself a free birth chart. You will need your time and place of birth as well, although you can do an unknown time option. Now, as a general reading rules apply. Roles can be reversed. I can be talking about you and actually meaning someone else, or vice versa. But my readings are normally quite personal, so that's not normally an issue. Timing is far from absolute with tarot, as I'm sure you're well aware if you've got to the point of watching tarot readings on YouTube. Now, where my readings are different is this reading either is for you or it isn't. There is a past and a present in the spread. If the past and the present don't fit, then it's not for you, or at least it's not for you at the moment. Because as I say, they'll hit when they are. But take the reading as a whole. This is not a spread that really allows for take what resonates, leave the rest. It's quite a defined spread, this one. So what I would like you to do is come to this reading with a question. Spend a moment, think about all the questions that are around you at the moment. Focus on one of them, because energy in, energy out. But be aware of all of them, because the cards will answer whatever they please, and not what you and I think's important at all. Having said that, there's anything else I've got to... Oh, yes. If you give the video a like, it helps it get seen. If you subscribe, it really helps the channel. So please subscribe, press like, share it, whatever you like. There is a link down below for a Facebook group as well, where I post these videos, obviously, but also a lot of the astrology videos that I'm watching at the moment that can give you really interesting insights into current events, either globally or in your life. Yeah, that's it. I'll bring up the cards. I can't think of anything else to say. Any other details about the reading will be in the description below anyway, so have a read of that. Through the Facebook group, there's a inbox, so if you want to message me directly, that's the way to do it. I think you can find me on Tumblr as well. If you want a personal reading, get in touch. In the meantime, let's have a look what we've got. So, on the Oracle cards, one jumped straight out at me. The guardian angel of spiritual growth. The way I become spiritual is simply to become myself. And I feel that you've had quite a lot stripped away from you recently. And by recently, I mean pretty recently. There is a present line through the spread, and this Tower card, you're just going out of it. Things have been stripped away from you recently. Mainly, lies and illusion have been stripped away from you recently. Almost like there's been a moment of truth, or there's been a moment where something has been stripped away from you and it's enabled you to take a step up. This is a good Tower moment. I thought I felt good about that card when I saw it. It's clarified there by the Moon and the Page of Pentacles. So there's that whole idea of leveling up. There's this whole idea of good business news. Maybe some regulation has changed or been got rid of. But there's certainly you stepping up to the plate going, now I know how I can move forward. Now I know. It's not even now I know what to do or now I know what I'm doing. You already knew that. But now the way is clear for you to do precisely that. And so you are focusing on your home base and your home life at the moment. It's being reasonably stable and abundant, but there is change coming. Okay, so there is some form of peer pressure or conflict that you are aware of that is impinging on what you are doing. We have the Five of Swords here clarifying this Ten of Pentacles. So maybe there's an argument within the home about how to use the resources, i.e. money, that you have at hand. Or maybe you're aware of some form of conflict that's welling up to engulf your home life and engulf your possessions, resources, but home life as well with this Ten of Pentacles. But let's face it, this one is very coin oriented. There's no 3 generations of one family sat in the background here. There's simply is that a cat or a mouse? I think it's a mouse and a tortoise. So yeah, maybe not that family orientated after all. And we have the Death card. So you stepping up, you with this Page of Pentacles here, you going, right, now I am free to move forward in the way I know I want to, has created a change to a certain extent for the better. The underlying forces here, we have the Six of Cups. So there is, on the element of the home life, your home is safe. That's one thing that because I was talking about the home life with the Ten of Pentacles, your home is safe. Your home life is safe, the family unit. If you have a family unit, well, no, you don't have to live with a family unit to be part of a family unit. But there's whatever that unit is that you have around you that you rely on is safe. There is an end to some form of torment coming, which is out of the wreckage. Right. So you're still definitely here. You're still going through that Tower moment, because you're. Okay. Well, that was weird. Right. And my other camera has turned off. So end part 1 of filming, back in a second. And normal service is resumed. So, excuse me. Like I say, you're still going through this Tower moment at the moment. The transformation has not quite finished yet. And it's almost out of the wreckage, as well as some form of torment ending. There is, I feel like there's 1 or 2 little gems that you find. You know, with this Five of Cups, I always feel that he's holding those last 2 cups up really, really triumphantly. It's like those 3 that have been discarded and lost, they don't matter. Because it's giving you the tools that it's giving you the tools that you need. Or it's answering something for you. However, for some strange reason, I also feel that these little gems, they raise as many questions as they answer, because you're immediately sent into protection and defense mode. 9 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles. But there is a culmination of your efforts where you're wanting to stand guard, you feel more equipped, even if you're not entirely sure why you are feeling like this. There is the Hanged Man card here, because where you are at the moment, you do feel like you are balancing the finances, the resources. You're trying to create as much of a balancing aspect on the home life. Angel number 66 here, 6 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups. You're creating a balanced effort on the home life, but you're finding that things around you are moving so incredibly fast. But then, of course, they are. The tower comes crumbling down, or came crumbling down. There's still a bit of wreckage to fall. But that's fine. So, you're sent into this defensive phase where there is still... where there is delay, where there is confusion... because as the tower was crumbling, you were so sure about, yes, this frees me up to go to the next level. And now you're like, I'm at the next level. What do I do now? But it's almost like you are with this 9 of Wands. Remember the 9 of Wands, it's the Wounded Warrior, but it's also that final part of the marathon, like that last half mile of the marathon where you're very, very nearly there. But this High Priestess here is defiant. She is protecting and she is holding her banner high, and there's a rebirth in this whole process for you, as is definitely shown by this death card right at the top here as well. There is change. There is most definite change coming on. So a choice is going to be set forward for you where you're going to have to plan a little bit longer term than maybe what you normally do, because as much as you think things are going fast now, they ain't calming down. We've got 8 of Wands on how you're feeling and 8 of Wands in the future that's coming up, with some form of important choice where you have to plan for, but you are also quite capable of planning for. This 7 of Wands is not at all defensive. This 7 of Wands is wanting to move forward after a previous victory and has an immense sense of confidence. And this is one thing here out of the Oracle cards, the Moonology Oracle. Moonology Oracle. Confidence is your key to success. New Moon in Leo. So I don't know if the New Moon in Leo is... I have no idea. Next one's Taurus. So that's 3 new moons away for a date, if I've got my astronomy head on right. But there is, things are being taken to bits. The other oracle card we've got from the Angelarium is Gavura, the left hand or judgment, straight out of the Tree of Life, the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. And this is the force that takes a whole and divides it into its component bits. So its component bits can be inspected and analysed and detailed and understood. But it is a destructive process. It is, for the pillar of the Tree of Life that it's in, it creates the severity of that entire pillar. So yes, there is, okay, so there is something that you have to choose and that you have to plan for, and plan a little bit more long term for, and what you work towards manifesting is going to come around. So be careful about what it is that you are working towards manifesting, especially when you are being given 2 choices here. With this 2 of Wands, we've got whoever it is wandering and finding a fork in the road, but it's a yellow path. Always reminds me of the yellow brick road, this one. Or it's a path of very dry, scorched grass, in which case you don't necessarily want to go down either path, because what killed all the grass on the way there? Do you really want to be taken for a waltz down the yellow brick road? So yes, choices are demanded from you, but maybe you just need to plan and hold back from a few of the choices, waiting for news to come in. Because what you... I don't want you to move too fast. Just because the world is moving so fast, 8 of Wands, 8 of Wands, you don't necessarily have to jump to and act hastily, which is what this Devil card is telling me. But as you know, I always like to clarify the Devil card with this deck. Demon Possessed Tarot by Blackthorn Studios. I've suddenly forgotten. Blackstone, I think. Bloodstone. Not Blackstone, Bloodstone. Right, let's see what we've got for clarify this Devil. Oh, and we've got a couple jumping out here. So we have the 3. No, we've got 3 coming out. 3 of Pentacles, Sagan, 6 of Swords, and 3 of Swords. So we've got 33 there to start off with. Just like we've got 66 here. So you are working towards something. The 33 is manifestation and movement, if I remember correctly. But it's not movement without pain, that's for sure, with one of those 3s being the 3 of Swords. There is... Okay, so you're being recognised, but you are being recognised from some form of distant shore. Now, this could be from another town, another country, another company, something that is separate to what it is that you are in. You know, I don't want to say another family, even though we was talking about the home base and the family base here. But there is certainly recognition coming from some form of foreign shore and trying to draw you over there. Just be careful with that. be really careful of that, because the cards were in this order. Three of Pentacles, the recognition, the distant shore with the Six of Swords, and then the Three of Swords. So if you suddenly get a wonderful work offer, job offer to work overseas, yeah, think twice about that, to be quite honest, because you may be called into too much of a balancing act. But you're going to be in a balancing act wherever you are. I mean, let's face it, there's a very earthy 3D reality feeling to this reading. So with the way the economy is going anywhere you care to mention in the world, yeah, there's going to be a balancing act anyway. But I think this is one that you will have the ability to excel with. This guy isn't just balancing or juggling these two pentacles. He's levitating one of them and transferring energy from one to the other. He is creating a rainbow within his hands. So that's almost opening a gateway to somewhere new, thinking of Bifrost. Bifrost, sorry. And that is clarified by the Ace of Swords, a wonderful amount of clarity, and as long as you are concentrating on the right dream for you, and the right dream that, you know, you think, you go for your dream, you have a look at your dream, you go, yeah, I think this is the right one. You hold it up to spirit and you just get some form of, yeah, that's fine, whatever you want, you crack on. You know, because if it's not a good one, if it's one that spirit doesn't approve of or doesn't suggest is a good idea for you, they will find a way. You know, one way or another, they will find a way to let you know that they don't approve of it. But Four of Cups is very much the hand of God offering an idea to someone who'd been a little bit bored. This one is a mage using the Four Cups to signify the four cardinal directions, the four elements, and bringing the elements under his control through his own force of will. There's also that Cancer influence there with the crab on his turban, headscarf, bandana, whatever you call that particular item, hat, whatever you call that particular item of clothing. But yes, you ask the elements to do something, the elements will always do something that is along the will of God. And therefore, if you are asking the elements to do something that is in line with the will of God, whatever that word means, you know, your higher self, your purest intent, your you can say God if you want, or spirit, or the angels, or but that natural direction for you to be the best that you can be, then of course the elements will be under your control. And more importantly, thoughts and opinions of those around you. Because let's face it, someone around you is pretty much, they're finding it very, very difficult to carry on, even though they are wanting to level up, they are wanting to display themselves to the world, but they're finding it really, really hard to go that last distance. But I think they will surprise you because they're moaning far beyond. It's not an easy way to structure this sentence. They are moaning far beyond the lack of their capabilities, because there is going to be a sudden last burst of activity that will just help get them over that finish line that you're already astride. Now, yes, follow your inner light, whatever that means at the moment. Because this hermit follows straight on from this Four of Cups, you know, the dream being given to you by God, the divine, whatever. And then we've got the hermit wandering around his rocky path, carrying his own light. But I almost feel, whereas last time I saw this, I felt like he was a rickety old man down a very dangerous path. This time, there's like the light of nebula behind him, and he has trapped a bit of it in his lantern and using it to show his way. This guy's ingenious. He ain't got no worries about falling off this rocky path, because your efforts, if they are in line with your highest purpose, whatever that means, will bring a great harvest as long as you tend to it and as long as you work to it. And as long as you are the one who is... Six of Pentacles, what? It sounds awful, but the phrase that popped into my mind was, don't forget the little people. You know, when you're successful, when you're big name, don't forget the little people. Make sure that you are providing for those around you who you love and care about, and maybe a few people that you don't particularly love or care about, but you are in the role of provider here. Because that will bring you a wonderful sense of emotional resolution. There is celebration and there is practicality in whatever it is that you are going to start to do after this Tower moment. Right, let's have a look at the more distant, relevant past. So you've jumped out and acted before, thinking it was the wise thing to do, but leaving yourself a little isolated, with causing more than a little, how can I put it, conflict, debate around your actions. And also maybe you were just, it's almost as if you've been given an idea and you went, oh yeah, that's a great idea, I'm going to crack on with it. Now, remember what I was saying about the Four of Cups? You crack on with your idea, not one that somebody else has given to you. But you still managed to create a new beginning with that, even with all the conflict, and you set a lot of long-term plans and then it all fell to pieces. The Tower. So maybe that's why you might be a little bit reluctant to set off on whatever this new path is. You should do it. You really should do it. Nine of Cups. It all went to pot, but you didn't end up in a bad place, did you? You ended up in a reasonably good place. We have the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment, clarified by the Empress and clarified by Justice. Whatever it was all set right. But I think the issue was that you were given this idea by somebody else and it caused stress. It caused conflict. It caused mental conflict, verbal conflict. Not something you have to worry about so much this time. Because before this has been going on, you've been feeling quite vulnerable, but quite happy at the same time. We have Page of Cups here. So there's maybe that's a message about love coming in for you, but also it could be a new dream that you're like, shall I, shan't I, shall I, shan't I? Because you were in a reasonably happy place as it was. Ten of Cups, King of Cups. So you were emotionally resolved over everything that happened previously. But how resolved if it may stop you with what you're doing at the moment? Oh, and it was obviously a darker past if you pay attention to... Oh, no, that side. Yes, as you pay attention to the camera there. Look, light? No, now it's not doing it. Right, anyway. It's, but within all of that, feeling a little vulnerable but happy at the same time, a clarity came that caused you to withdraw into yourself a little bit, to be where you could be a little bit guarded and started planning for the next steps ahead. So I do feel that this Tower moment, this disaster that you've had recently with this Tower card, yes, I don't know what's going on with the other camera, it's not something that you weren't prepared for. If anything, the only way you weren't prepared for it was that you weren't quite ready for it there and then. It came a little quick. You were already prepared for such an instance, and you were going to go ahead with something, say in 6 months' time, and all of a sudden it's now. You know, it's like, okay, well, I might as well go and do what my plans were, but they're having to be brought forward. And yes, so no wonder you're feeling under pressure with everything moving so fast, because if you were just in the planning stages and then all of a sudden the opportunity has to kick off, Things are going to be moving fast because you're going to have to be working fast. But as I said, confidence is the key to your success. And this is a time of spiritual growth for you. The way I become spiritual is simply to become myself. So it's almost like you are your own product at the moment. There is a danger of delay if you are not connecting to that higher power, to your highest goals within all of this. We have Samajina with delay, but more importantly, Elamaya with divine power. You're being empowered by spirit, as we see with this Four of Cups here, but there is a danger with greed. This is what Barith warns. I don't need to read out what he said, what it says about him on the card, but there is a danger of greed, whether that means you being too greedy or whether that means somebody else's greed coming to threaten you, because there's all this defensiveness here. So be aware of someone trying to take over the process, because remember, this is yours. This is between you and whatever you call God. This is not between you and somebody else, some other people. This is your baby. That is not what I'm going to call this reading, because it will frighten everybody. But yeah, there's a wonderful sense of freedom, but it's almost like you had the plan 75% finished and it's like, I'm not ready to commit on this right now, but you are going to have to commit on this right now. So, you know, don't worry about it anywhere near as much. Yes, because you're worried that... Okay, so you hope that you are listening to Spirit to help... whatever message you are carrying will have the result that you require, whatever that means. You are exhibiting your power by carrying that message, and you are exhibiting the power of spirit by carrying that message as well. You just have to make sure that you are listening to spirit at the same time. I don't think I've even seen the closest to the spiritual influence I've got is this moon card here, which I feel wonderfully magical about. All of a sudden, you've had that thunder, lightning, magical experience in the form of with that tower coming down, whatever it is recently. So any conflicts that you find, you will be victorious in. This, where there was a conflict in the past, you're expecting a conflict now? Yeah, not so much. But you are going to be victorious. Just careful that you don't pick up more than you can actually carry, because there is Two of Cups and the Lovers. So, if this is a love reading, yeah, everything will be fine. Long journey there, but everything will be fine. If your question is a little more personally oriented, there is a healing time coming up. It's not right now. That's one thing that's important. You're too busy right now. It's not. You are going to heal through action, not through rest. But you will be unifying as long as you commit to the choice that you already pretty much know. You know, this transformation that you're going through at the moment, it's not like before it started you couldn't see where it was going to head. Although there's going to be aspects of you that are aspects of it that are going to be a complete and utter revelation for you. But I feel that they are all going to be positive revelations where you have the feeling of, you know, that's great. That's better than I expected. We have that Ten of Cups energy. It's here at the start. Oh, no, it's not. That's the Queen of Cups. There you go. Ten of Cups. But I do think it keeps... This Parade of Cups ain't going to finish. We have the gods looking down from Olympus on the celebration and happiness of a whole family. And I feel that that parade of cups, it ain't going to end. It's never ending there. So there is happiness and growth and new dreams coming in all of this. You are going to be confused for a while and led to be a bit defensive, but let the events carry you along, but just beware of being enticed to new shores unless you are the one who thinks of the idea and you are the one that decides that this is what you're going to do. Don't accept any invitations. Don't accept the, oh, come work for us all the way over here. You know you want to. That way basically lies pain. But if you are the one that decides, right, for what I'm going to do, we need to be over here, that's fine. It's the act of being invited, being pulled along by somebody else that you just need to avoid. You can do this yourself. You don't need a huge backup mechanism to be supporting you. So if that means anything to you, Aquarius, please do comment down below. I've given you the like, share, subscribe speech, so please do all of them. And join the Facebook group or click the notifications bell to see when I next release some videos. I assume the next readings will be the new moons, unless there's something interesting coming up astrologically that I confess I haven't actually sat and looked at the next week or so's astrology to know what interesting is coming up. But I think my new moons will be the ones that I read next, which a new moon will be interesting for you, since by this point I expect you will be certainly either full on in the tower, having a few things crumble away that free you, or you will be in the confusion of, right, I'm moving forward, now what do I do? Okay, best of luck, Aquarius. This looks like it will be one of those fun periods of life when you look back on them. Cheers.